Hello, good morning, students. I hope all of you are doing well. So, today we are going to read the poem A Tiger in the Zoo, written by Leslie Norris. And Leslie Norris, he was a Welsh poet. Welsh means Welsh is a country, it is at the border of UK or England. And he has won many prizes for his work. His famous works are Finding Gold, and second one is Loud Wind. So these two works are very famous. He lived between from 1926 till 2006. So he is a very renowned author, renowned poet. And here in this poem, he has given the theme of freedom. So, as you know, that freedom is very essential, very important for everyone, whether it is animal or human being, especially from perspective of human being. But here in the poem, the poet describes the condition of a tiger, the situation, the mental situation, the mental condition of the tiger, which is caged in the zoo. He contrasts a tiger in the zoo with its natural habitat. The tiger which is caged here in the zoo, if it were to be free, what it was doing, what it could have been going, where it would have been going, all this situation he had put here. So the poet takes us to the zoo, and from zoo to the forest, and then again from forest to the zoo. So the poetic device which are used here, these are the following. If you talk about rhyming scheme, then rhyming scheme is A, B, C, B throughout the stanza. In all the stanzas, A, B, C, B rhyming scheme is used. Poetic device, first one is personification. Now what's personification? Giving human qualities to non-living things or animal. That's called personification. Example, he stalks. So the poet has used the word he for the tiger. He had not used it or any other thing, but he for the tiger. Assonance, his vivid stripes. So I vowel sound is repeated. That's assonance. Enjambment, first two line of the stanza. First stanza, you would see he stalks in his vivid stripes the few steps of his cage. So you know what's enjambment. Enjambment is continuation of first line or one line to the second or third line without any punctuation. Metaphor. So on pads of velvet, here the poet has compared the pose or the pads of the tiger with that velvet. So pads here used for this pose of the tiger. Consonants, consonant sound used here. S stalks his. So see, consonants, repetition of consonant sound usually at the end of the word. Alliteration is a repetition of again consonant sound, but it comes in the starting, like stalks, stripes. This is alliteration. Oxymoron. Oxymoron is usage of two contradict words together. For example, quiet, rage. So quiet also and rage also, two conflicting things. So these are the poetic device used here. If any other one is used, we can discuss. So this poem contrasts a tiger in the zoo with the tiger in its natural habitat. As I already told you, the poem moves from the zoo to the jungle and back again to the zoo. So now we shall read this poem line by line, stanza by stanza. He stalks in his vivid stripes the few steps of his cage on pads of velvet, quiet in his quiet rage. So the poet says that tiger, and the poet uses the word he, pronoun he for the tiger, and he says that the tiger walks proudly. Stalks means taking walk proudly in his vivid stripes. Vivid means different, clear, different lines. Stripes means the lines on the tiger, the body of tiger. So he stalks in his vivid stripes, and you can see that tiger is walking very proudly He is showing proud because of his beautiful decorative body. The few steps of his cage, but remember that he just walks only the few steps because the tiger is caged. Its freedom is restricted. He walks on pads of velvet. So pads, this portion is known as the pads. This is known as the claws, nakhun, and this is pads. So he walks on pads of velvet. So he makes a comparison of pads of tiger with that velvet, as it is very silky, very smooth, quiet. And how does it walk? It walks quiet, without any roaring, without any violence, in his quiet rage. But in the last line, he also uses the word he walks in his quiet rage. So the tiger is quiet as well as rage. Why rage? Rage means anger, angry, frustrated. So the tiger is rage, but it doesn't show it. It remains quiet. It is rage because it's angry because of frustration, because it is caged there, because it has lost its freedom. Its freedom is restricted. Okay, so that's the meaning of first stanza. So the tiger is angry but quiet, helpless, restless. Let's move on to the second stanza. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass near the waterhole where plump deer pass. In the second stanza, the poet says that the tiger should have been lurking in shadows. If the tiger was not here in the zoo, what it could have been doing? It should have been lurking, and lurking means hiding for its prey, hiding for hunting, hiding for hiding for the prey. Sliding means going very slowly, sliding, going very slowly to catch its prey through the long grass near the water hole where the another animals, where the deer, antelope, and many other animals come to drink water, to take rest. So the tiger could have been sliding there through the long grasses and waiting for these plumpy deers to catch them, to kill them, and to eat them. So if you talk about the poetic device here, plump deer pass. So P sound is repeated. So the poetic device is alliteration. You'd also notice enjambment. Enjambment in the line near the water hole where plump deer pass. So second line, third line, there is no punctuation, no full stop. So you can notice all these poetic devices as we read the sentence. And throughout the poem ABCB, in all the stanza, this rhyming scheme is used. As you can see, shadow, grass, hole, pass. Now let's move on to the third stanza. He should be snarling round houses at the jungle's edge, barring his white fangs, his claws terrorizing the village. So the poet says that if the tiger were not in the cage, it was not caged in the cell, then it could have been growling. Snarling means growling, gurrana, Dharana, making terrifying sound. So it should have been snarling, growling around the houses, those houses which are built near the forest area, in the jungle, at the edge of the jungle, at the border of the jungle, and the tiger would have been frightening them, barring. Barring means showing. The tiger would have been showing his fangs. Fangs means sharp teeth, his claws, this claws, panje, and terrorizing them. The villagers would have been frightened, afraid. So, this is the condition of the tiger the poet describes here. In the next stanza, the poet says that, but he is locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. So the tiger is locked. The poet says that he could have been doing all this thing, he could have been roaming around these places, he could have been doing this and that activity. But the fact is that Tiger is caged. He is locked in a concrete cell, a room. His strength behind bar, and all the strength of tiger is just behind bar. He is helpless. He is restless. He is powerless. He can't do anything behind bars. And just stalking the length of the cage. He just walks at the little area which is provided, ignoring the visitors. And even the tiger ignores the visitor. It has become frustrated, failed, entertaining them every day. So the tiger ignores them. It does not attack them. It doesn't do any kind of activity for their amusement, because every day many visitors come, guests come, and they come to visit the tiger. So even the privacy of the tiger is disturbed, because it's not living at its natural habitat. Nobody dares to go to its natural habitat and throw even a stone at. So that's what is mentioned here in this stanza. Again, if you talk about the poetic device, then there is assonance in concrete cells. Then behind bars, alliteration, poetic device. Now let's move on to the last stanza. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. In the last stanza, the poet says that the tiger is sleepless. He is not able to sleep because of the sound, because of the disturbance, because of the frustration. So he heard the last voice at night. He is disturbed. Even the last voice at night means the patrolling guards, those who go for guarding the forest, watchmen. Even he hears their voice. He is disturbed. He is not able to sleep properly. And stares with his brilliant eyes. So the tiger, because of lack of sleep, because he's unable to sleep, he just starts looking at the stars, moon, and it seems that he's praying to God. The tiger looks at the stars with its brilliant eyes, praying to God. God, when the day will come when I will be free. Perhaps he is waiting for the moment when he would be free from this cage. He is looking at the brilliant stars which are shining, which are brightening like this star. Sometime the tiger also may walk freely. It also may it also may shine brightly in the forest sometime. So that's the meaning of the last stanza, as if the tiger praying to Almighty, watching at the stars, praying to Almighty, praying to God, release me, give me freedom when the time will come when I will be free. So that's the explanation of the complete poem, and the message is given here by the poet is importance of freedom. Everybody requires freedom. Everybody loves to be free, even the animals. So I hope everybody has understood this poem. The poet has used many poetic devices here. Even the imagery is used here. When he says, in his vivid stripes, the few steps of his cage. So we are able to imagine a picture of tiger, an image of tiger. Oxymoron, enjambment, consonance, repetition, alliteration, onomatopoeia. There's onomatopoeia also in the in the line snarling around houses. Snarling means growling. So even the poetic device onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is the words they represent the sound as they are written, as they are spoken, like zigzag. So the way I am saying zigzag, it also would be written that way. It would be read that way. So that's onomatopoeia. Other than that, if you find any other poetic device, if you read, you can note it down. Okay, everyone. So take care. Goodbye. Okay. I hope everybody is understood. Till then, goodbye. See you in the next video. Bye bye.